Sometimes a woman gives everything she has, her loyalty, her softness, her patience, her love, and still ends up confused, wondering why the man who holds her hand in public becomes a stranger in private. There's a unique kind of pain that comes from being adored in front of the world, but ignored behind closed doors. And if you've ever felt that, this message is for you. Not to blame you, not to shame you, but to finally explain a psychology no one teaches women, yet every woman deserves to understand. You see, a man's public behavior is not always a reflection of his private truth. Some men treat you like a queen in front of others because the world is watching, because admiration from outsiders feeds their ego more than connection with you feeds their heart. They perform affection like a role they're proud of playing, and you become part of the image they want to project. They hold your waist, smile at you, talk about you with pride, not because they feel you deeply, but because your presence increases their value in the eyes of others.
To them, you are not only a partner. You are proof. Proof they can attract a woman like you. Proof they have something desirable. Proof they are successful. But proof and love are not the same thing, and that difference becomes painfully obvious when the spotlight fades. In private, the performance stops. In private, the mask comes off. In private, there's no one to impress, no audience to applaud their tenderness, and suddenly the affection, warmth, and attention disappear. And the woman wonders, did I do something wrong? Did his feelings change? Why does he treat me so differently when no one is watching?
But the truth is deeper. It's not about something you did. It's about something inside him. Some men crave admiration more than intimacy. They need validation more than connection. Public affection earns them instant approval. Private intimacy requires emotional presence, vulnerability, honesty. Things they were never taught, never encouraged, or never brave enough to embody. Many men grow up in environments where emotions are weaknesses, feelings are avoided, and affection is considered an unnecessary display. Yet the same men learn early in life that showing off a woman gives them social status. So they practice public affection like a skill, but lack the emotional maturity to sustain private closeness. And women mistake the performance for love, because how could a man hold you so beautifully in public and not care about you in private? The answer is hard to accept. He may love the idea of you more than he knows how to love you. Another truth is this: some men separate you into two versions, the version they show the world and the version they face in private. In public, he chooses the role of the proud partner. In private, he chooses the role of the distant one. Why? Because public situations don't require effort or accountability. It's easy to smile for a camera. It's easy to open a door. It's easy to place a hand on your back and guide you through a crowd. But in private, love needs responsibility. It needs depth. It needs communication. It needs consistency. It needs emotional engagement. Public affection is easy. Private intimacy is real work. And not every man is ready for real work. Some men enjoy the public adoration, but avoid private vulnerability. And this duality is what confuses women the most.
Let's go even deeper. There's another psychological pattern at play: control. When a man showers you with affection publicly, but withholds it privately, he creates emotional imbalance. You start questioning yourself, wondering why his warmth is inconsistent, worrying what you did wrong, trying harder to regain the version of him you saw outside. And that's exactly how emotional power shifts. Some men, intentionally or unintentionally, use inconsistency to maintain control. They give enough affection in public to make you believe the relationship is strong, but not enough in private to make you feel secure.
You end up working twice as hard for half the love. You start walking on eggshells. You try to earn back the closeness he took away. Women in this cycle don't even realize they're slowly losing themselves, piece by piece, because they're too busy chasing the version of him that only exists when others are watching. Then there's the fear factor.
Some men are terrified of emotional closeness, not because they don't care about you, but because caring requires vulnerability, and vulnerability feels dangerous to them. Public affection is safe because it's external. Private affection is risky because it requires internal exposure.
It requires revealing their real self, flaws, fears, insecurities, traumas. And some men would rather give you a show than give you their truth. But the woman isn't imagining things. She isn't overthinking. She isn't dramatic. She is reacting to inconsistency that would confuse anyone. Because when a man loves you publicly but ignores you privately, it sends mixed messages that cut deeply. It makes you question your worth, even when the problem is not your worth. It's his emotional disconnect. And still, women blame themselves.
They replay conversations. They modify their behavior. They shrink their needs. They stay silent to keep peace. They hope if they love a little harder, hold on a little longer, or forgive a little faster, the private version of him will match the public one. Women try to fix what they didn't break because society has conditioned women to believe that maintaining the relationship is their responsibility, even when the imbalance is not their fault. But a man who values you doesn't only value you when others are watching.
He values you in silence, in arguments, in ordinary moments, in messy moments, in private moments where no one claps for him. A healthy man doesn't need an audience to treat you with care. A mature man doesn't switch affection on and off. A genuine man doesn't treat love like a performance. Sometimes the man who publicly praises you does so because he knows people admire you. He knows you are extraordinary. He knows other men respect him for being with you. But sometimes that admiration makes him insecure.
He fears losing you. But he also fears fully loving you because loving you requires emotional availability he never learned. So he keeps you close enough to look committed, but distant enough to stay safe. This pattern is more common than you think. And the woman begins to suffer in silence. She keeps the relationship alive in private, while he keeps it alive in public. She's emotionally starving in the very relationship she's trying to nourish. She's lonely next to someone who claims to love her. She's present with someone who disappears the moment the world turns away.
She starts losing faith in love, not because she's unlovable, but because she's with someone who doesn't know how to love beyond the spotlight. The truth is painful, but necessary. You cannot build a real relationship with a man who only shows up when others can see him. A man who loves you only in public loves his reputation more than he loves your heart. A man who ignores you in private is revealing his true emotional capacity. Public affection is not the measure of a man's love. Private consistency is.
And here's the real psychological shift you need to hear. The moment a woman stops chasing the version of a man he pretends to be, she starts reclaiming her power. When she stops trying to earn basic affection, she starts realizing how little she was being given. When she recognizes the difference between public performance and private reality, she begins to see the truth she was never meant to notice. And once she sees it, she can never unsee it. You deserve a love that stays, even when the world looks away. A love that doesn't need an audience. A love that doesn't disappear in the quiet. A love that doesn't treat you like a trophy outside and a burden inside. You deserve a connection that feels safe, consistent, warm, and real. And when you finally experience that kind of love, you'll wonder why you ever tolerated anything less. Love that hides behind an audience is not love. It's performance. And you deserve better.
If this message touched you, if it made you feel seen, if it helped you understand what no one ever explained before, then stay with me. Because here, you're not misunderstood. Here, your feelings make sense. Here, psychology is written for you. Women have been conditioned to ignore their intuition, to excuse inconsistency,
to believe that they need to fix others. But understanding the difference between performance and real love is empowering. It allows you to reclaim yourself.
You deserve love that is honest, caring, and consistent. Love that doesn't require you to question your worth or chase affection. Love that exists in private just as beautifully as it does in public. And recognizing this, seeing it clearly, allows you to stop wasting energy on illusions. You can protect your heart, demand your value, and choose partners who are emotionally capable. Emotional maturity is the foundation of real love, not public gestures or social approval.
No one should ever make you feel small or invisible in private while celebrating you in public. Women's hearts deserve emotional consistency, honesty, and respect. The right partner shows love in silence and in chaos, when life is ordinary and when life is exciting. That is the love that heals, empowers, and nurtures. Anything else is a performance. Understanding this truth allows women to stop chasing illusions and start seeking genuine connection, where their hearts are truly safe.
The power shift happens when women stop excusing inconsistency, stop shrinking their needs, stop bending themselves for someone who cannot meet them. Recognize that love is not earned through patience or performance tolerance. It is given consistently and genuinely. Emotional intelligence and clarity become the shield. Self-worth becomes the compass. And the moment women embrace this, everything changes. They attract love that is sincere, stable, and nurturing, not love that only performs for the eyes of others.
So if this truth resonates with you, if it awakens something inside, stay with me. Subscribe, because here, women's hearts, emotions, and truths are understood and honored. You belong in spaces where emotional clarity, honesty, and empowerment are celebrated. Your heart deserves love that matches its depth, privately and publicly. Never settle for performance love when real love exists. And remember, the right love sees you, values you, and remains with you when no one else is watching.